truly, one of the most beautiful things as men is that we have the ability to create, to build, to destroy, to pluck, within our own lives. Bad habits, people that don't serve us, jobs that we don't want to work, etc., etc. We have the illusion of choice, under the jurisdiction of the Most High. Something that I was meditating on right now as I'm sitting here in the park is most of us have been lost, are lost, or don't even know that we're lost. Most of us are like leaves in the wind, just blowing around, waiting for something to happen, waiting for the day everything changes, waiting for the day that that special woman walks into our life, waiting for the day we get a promotion, waiting for, you know, death. Some men, that's their existence. They're just waiting to die. Like that's such a horrible way to live. You know, I think even worse is waiting to retire. Like what? Like, yeah, you gotta work 40 years in this company or in this system. That way I could retire. That way I could now have the ability to do what I truly desire with my life. We just wait. We spend our life waiting and waiting. And to be honest with you, that special thing, that woman, that promotion, that day where people finally realize your worth, it's never gonna happen, man. It's never gonna happen because you yourself, your reality, your actions show that you haven't even done it yourself. Because if you did, you wouldn't be watching all these self improvement videos all the time. You wouldn't be, always searching and waiting. You would be making shit happen. So today I want to talk about being an initiator. The beautiful thing as men is that we're allowed to initiate. We've been given the ability to create, to build, to pluck down, to destroy. Like I said earlier, this is the intended creation, the intended design of us as men. But nowadays, we've been taught that we have to serve everyone else without anybody serving us. And truly, our intended design was to serve because that's what makes us feel fulfilled, to provide, to lead, to guide, to protect our own households, our own families, our own things. But if you notice, I keep saying our own. Most men today, they have no aspiration to be owners of anything, you know? And if you look at society as a whole, they've taken away that power from us as men to own. Even a couple years back, I remember they were trying to take away the use of the word owner, because that meant like, you owned something, like it was just so you wouldn't offend anybody else, which doesn't make any sense to me at all. Everybody should aspire to own their own thing, their own idea, their own vision, their own creation. Most of us, we don't even own ourselves. We're tied down to our job, to maybe even a family that doesn't pay attention to us, that doesn't love us, that doesn't respect us, that doesn't serve us. We're tied down to things that we put ourselves in, our own barriers, our own prisons, our mind, our flesh, which is why a lot of us, we have trouble building good habits because we allow ourselves to be stuck in a box. We allow ourselves to be stuck in a framework that society has made for us when we ourselves are supposed to set that framework, especially if you're a minority. Like, they will continually, especially Hispanics and black men, they'll continually put us in a framework, especially with our women. We have lost the ability to create our own systems, create our own framework, and we're just always being overstimulated by the opinions and thoughts of everybody else. So I want to implore you today to be an initiator. If you have an idea, why not go after it? If you have a business idea, why not go after it? Like, if that idea is in there, you're meant to be an owner. That's our nature as men. When the Most High made men, that was his intended design for us to rule, to serve, to be served, you know? And we don't even have the ability nowadays as men to cultivate our own animals, to have our own farmland, to have our own land, to have our own fruits without having to go to a supermarket to buy. Most of us don't even know how to do that. Like, truly, we've been stripped away of all this power that we were given, and we've been fed lies. You know, we're just walking zombies at this point, leaves blowing in the wind, waiting for the perfect day where someone finally chooses us. That's really what happens to most men. They're waiting for the day they get their recognition, they're waiting for the day that somebody else sees their value. Fucking own yourself, man. Choose yourself. Serve God and choose yourself. You know, that was his intended design for us as men, to rule, to create, to dominate, to have passion, to be dominant, to be bold, to be courageous, to lead. Most of us have lost that drive. We have no drive. We have no sense of wanting to do anything. And when I say us, I'm speaking from a place that I used to be in. Truly, to reinvent yourself, you have to realize that you actually have the power to do all these things. You know, you could create conversation out of thin air. You just open your mouth. You could create, you know, any type of thing that you want in this world. As long as you have an idea and you put forward that idea into the physical world, you become a creator. You truly can become anything that you want to be, but you have to take that chance. You have to embrace being an owner, being an initiator. Own yourself, own your emotions. You let your mind rule over you, you let your body tell you what to do. Your spirit, this is just flesh. This is just a vessel for our spirit. You let your mind and your body tell you what to do. That's so crazy to think about. And that's the reality of 95% of people out there. You know, you you don't even own yourself, because if the job tell you to get there at 9 o'clock, you there at 9 o'clock. If the job tell you, hey, I need you to do overtime, you there to do overtime. When you could say no, and then you get gaslit into doing it. Truly. But you won't get up for yourself to go run, or to go, meditate, to go walk, to go to the gym. You don't even own yourself, you know? And if you're stuck in this mental purgatory, it's because you don't have any type of ruling class mentality to you. You haven't embraced that you're meant to rule, but it starts with you. You have to rule yourself. You have to rule your mind. You have to wage war on your fucking mind. You have to wage war on your flesh. And let me tell you something, your spirit is much stronger than your flesh. But whatever you think in your mind, that's what's gonna happen. If you think negatively, negative shit is gonna happen. If you think positive, positive things are gonna happen. Because now you're exerting that energy outwards, you're exerting that positive energy. People are gonna wanna be around you, you know? Or shit, even better, they're not gonna wanna be around you because you're thinking on such a high level frequency that you're gonna separate. But at least you'll feel good. You don't need to have a lot of lames around you that don't want to do shit with their life. If you want to do something great, own yourself, rule yourself, initiate. That's all it takes, is planting that seed, choosing the day that you decide to take a chance on yourself. And it could start small. Okay, today I'm gonna wake up at 7 in the morning and go on a walk. 3 laps around the park. Boom. That's a win right there. Because most people can't do that. Oh well, I just I couldn't wake up. I couldn't get out of bed. Own yourself, man. Have your pride. Have some fucking pride. You are meant to rule. That's the intended design from our creator. But now we serve everybody else. We're on everybody else's time. And truly, we find ourselves in this vicious cycle of complaining, of crying, of murmuring, and asking why things are happening, why things aren't going the way we want them to, aren't going the way we want them to. It's because we don't even rule ourselves first. You don't even own yourself. You're a slave to your job. You're a slave to your woman. You're a slave to your fucking kids. You're a slave to the society. And honestly, it's all an illusion because once you own yourself, everybody's going to start respecting you. Straight up, once you own yourself, people are going to be like, well, shit, at least he values his time. I ain't shit. I don't value my own time. That's how it is for most people. That's how it is. People in this society are so afraid, are so tethered that truly we do live in a real life matrix. This is a simulation. And if you have the drive and the ambition and even the spark of life to create new things and new ideas, you are meant for more. We walk around in a world that's full of NPCs. That's the message for today. Be an initiator. Own yourself. Rule your mind. Rule your body.